Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanishalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. In this session, we will be discussing from the 24th verse of the 19th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Tatascha vah pruchyam imam vipruchhe vishrabhya vipra iti krityatayam sarvatmana mriyamanaischa krityam Shuddham cha tatra amrishata abhiyuktaha. So the meaning of this verse is, O trustworthy Brahmanas, I now ask you about my immediate duty. So Parikshit is asking those great saintly persons, what is my immediate duty? Please, after proper deliberation, tell me of the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances, and specifically of those who are just about to die. So Parikshit asks two questions. He is asking about duty. He is asking about the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances. That's the first question. And the second question is the unalloyed duty of those who are just about to die. So Srila Prabhupada explains this in the purport very nicely. In this verse, the king has placed two questions before the learned sages. Mind you, these are the most important questions anybody can ask with regard to spirituality. Arjuna asked Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, Karpanya doshopahata svabhavaha pruchhami. Here also, pruchham imam vipruchhe. That which is to be asked, I am inquiring from you. I beg to ask you. Similarly, Arjuna is asking, Karpanya doshopahata svabhavaha pruchhami tvam. I am asking you, my dear Lord Krishna, dharma sammudha chetaha. My intelligence is confused in determining what is my duty. Karpanya doshopahata svabhavaha pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha yashreyasyan nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. What is meant for my ultimate good? Kindly tell me. What is my duty? Because Arjuna was bewildered when he saw his kinsman on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And particularly he saw his own grandfather and teacher, respectable personality, standing on the opposite side ready to fight. So he was asking Krishna that way. So similarly here, King Parikshit is asking about his duty. The first question is, what is the duty of everyone in all circumstances? First question. of duty, about the duty of everyone in all circumstances. And the second question is, what is the specific duty of one who is to die very shortly, who is about to die? What is his duty? Now, if you remember, Parikshit Maharaj has been cursed to die in 7 days. So he is particularly concerned about what is his duty before he dies. What should he perform? What duty should he perform? So Prabhupada says, out of the two, the question relating to the dying man is most important, because everyone is a dying man either very shortly or after 100 years, especially on the earth planet. Everyone is a dying man. Mriyamanaihi, especially those who are about to die. Mriyamanaihi. The duration of life is immaterial, but the duty of a dying man is very important. The whole of Bhagavad Gita actually talks about duty. Yagyarthat karmanaha lokoyam karma bandhanaha anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. So that karmanaha refers to prescribed duties. So duty is a very important subject of the Bhagavad Gita. So here that question is pertaining to the duty of a dying man, one who is about to die. What is his duty? Maharaj Parikshit placed these two questions before Shukadev Goswami also on his arrival. We will hear in after a few verses the arrival of Shukadev Goswami in that assembly. So therefore this chapter is entitled The Appearance of Shukadev Goswami. So these two questions which Parikshit asked the assembled sages, the saintly persons, great sages, the same two questions he will place in front of Shukadev Goswami a little later. So Prabhupada says, practically the whole of the Srimad Bhagavatam, beginning from the 2nd canto up to the last 12th canto, deal with these two questions. So important these questions are. Bhagavatam is a very, very vast literature, but everything is explained in the Bhagavatam in answer to these two questions asked by Parikshit from Shukadev Goswami. The conclusion arrived at thereof is that devotional service of the Lord Sri Krishna as it is confirmed by the Lord himself in the last phases of the Bhagavad Gita is the last word in relation to everyone's permanent duty in life. Situationally, according to our present condition or situation, we may have some temporary duties. Like a student has got a duty to study as long as a student. A householder has a duty towards maintenance of his family members, but that's also limited to the period when he is a householder. If the question is asked, what is everyone's permanent duty in life? That is answered in the Bhagavatam. The permanent duty of everyone is to render service to Krishna. Maharaj Parikshit was already aware of this fact because he is a devotee. And what does a devotee do? He simply engages in Krishna's service to please Krishna. So Maharaj Parikshit was aware as a devotee. But he wanted the great sages assembled there to unanimously give their verdict on his conviction, so that he might be able to go on with his confirmed duty without controversy. See, Parikshit is taking a very humble position. He is respecting the great sages who are assembled there as superiors, even though he himself is a pure devotee and is well aware that his only business is spiritual activity. That he knew. But taking a humble position, he wanted to get it confirmed from the authority. Now Parikshit has especially mentioned the word Shuddha, or perfectly correct. For transcendental realization or self-realization, many processes are recommended by various classes of philosophers. In this material world, always there are different classes of philosophers. Srila Prabhupada talks about the first class method or process of transcendental realization, the second class method and the third class method. So Prabhupada says the first class method demands that one give up all other methods and surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord, and thus be saved from all sins and their reactions. This is the first class method. This is the method of bhakti yoga. The other methods are dhyana yoga, ashtanga yoga, dhyana yoga or ashtanga yoga. Then there's one more method called buddhi yoga, which is same as bhakti yoga. Then there is jnana yoga. So all different methods, different processes, without exerting oneself, without taking a risk, guaranteed success at the end of this life. That is possible only if one adopts the first class method of bhakti yoga. Only then it is possible. Krishna certifies that bhakti yoga is the first class method. What does he say? Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mataha. Yukta tama means he is most intimately united with me in yoga. Who? The one who with devotion, faith, renders devotional service to me. So such a person is declared by Krishna to be the topmost yogi. Yukta Tama, yoga means to connect to the Supreme. And topmost yogi is one who is perfectly connected with Krishna. So therefore, Yukta Tamamataha. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.